than the DK, so he will be doing more damage. So I'm curious to see if they actually go for the Grimstroke. Grimstroke Mars could look very strong here.
I think, okay, so they actually ban out the Willow and Nigma. I was gonna say, yeah, they need, okay, they go Shadow Demon. It's another one of those save type heroes. You think about the Oracle ban, it's the, if we're gonna take fights at you, we don't want you to be able to prolong the fight long enough that you bring the correct amount of numbers. Shadow Demon does pretty well on that. And in terms of your point about the lane of Mars v Ember, the Mars DK discrepancies, it's the fact that Mars actually has to spear to disconnect the Ember away from him, so he will be a lot stronger in lane compared to DK, because DK has no way to really push away the Ember. But with the Shadow Demon, against Ember Spirit, it's always very strong. You have the Purge against his Flame Guard, and again, it's all about that save. You now have two supports that, if you play in a defensive position, you're going to have the Will-O-Wisp, you're going to have Blinding Light and Disruption. It's going to be pretty hard to kill whoever you jump initially.
We've seen a lot of Shadow Demon these days, and it has gone against some members. How much success has it actually had when it comes to fighting the Ember Spirit?
I think Shadow Demon's it's won pretty much all its games, I think, so far in this tournament.
It's getting high up there. It has been doing pretty formidably. Also, especially when you couple it with the strength cores, right? Because it's like you're getting a complementary hero with things like Mars, but you're also getting rid of a potential counter pick with that pesky percentage health removal later on in the game.
So do we see a troll here now again? I mean, this is basically Nigma, same draft, and Liquid just adjusting it a little bit, but we could see a troll here, right? If they want to pair it with the Coddle, Bristle is banned.
Sure, but it still boils down to that kind of predictability, right? You go for the troll, and then Nigma are like, alright, cool, we've already dealt with this before. Sure, we don't have our Pugna available because it's already banned out, but it's the same philosophy. You could just still go for your Necro. Liquid has already banned out the Batrider. You don't have, sure, you got Disruption save against the Scythe, but yeah, I think it'd be a bit potentially too obvious for Liquid to pick troll. But again, still a solid hero. I just feel the way that Nigma drafted last game with so many counters to it, it pretty much gave Liquid no game because of that position.
What else could we be looking at then if troll's not on the plate in your mind?
The question is, how are you enabling Koikva here? What's your game plan? Because depending on the Koikva hero, it pretty much dictates everything. It's difficult to say. You could just go for a casual Gyro, very good against this aggression type lineup. He can fight early. If you get to your high ground, you've always got the ultimate. So I think Gyro could be a good option, but picking it this early is you're asking to be, let's say, maybe a Morphling pick. Now you've got Miracle Morphling against your Gyro. The game's kind of awkward. So what do they go for? They go for the Druid. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was wondering if we're going to see him come out again.
I mean, it wasn't clear what position 1 they would want. I was kind of thinking that they still want to leave the last pick for Koikva, but I mean, Druid most likely gonna get banned out, right? So they just pick it up now. There's not many counters to this hero. We even saw him lane against a Razor, and a matchup that should always go to Razor's advantage. Actually, Koikva played it really well, pulled the first wave with the bear, and made the lane easy for himself. So I guess if you have a hero that has no counter, relatively strong right now, even if the Clockwork jumps him, he just goes into ulti and he's most likely not gonna die. So interesting pick, and not many teams run this hero, which means that not many teams actually know how to play against it.
Yeah, I think the main thing is for Liquid, it's the fact that they now have a way to punish the aggression of Nigma. If Nigma are trying to flush out your jungle and run at you, if the Lone Druid has a good lane, he can then simply just be pressuring your towers whilst Nigma's making one play. So then you're basically forcing Nigma to look in two directions. Sure, you want to run on our side of the map, but look at your own. We've got our Lone Druid cutting through. Especially, okay, so now we get the Weeha TA, and especially moving back to the last point is, if you have Coddle, Mars, SD, all these heroes can pretty well defend the tower underneath the tower. The issue is simply the TA, this Blink Deso timing is so strong that the Lone Druid, there's not a lot of... Liquid's draft is okay, but I feel, again, it's all about that snowball ability and that collapsing potential, and Nigma just, it's very scary right now, and Lone Druid doesn't like being ran at early on. He likes to have a strong lane, get that early couple items, and him be the aggressor. But right now, it's Nigma's draft that are going to want to make that aggression around the 15-minute mark if Weeha gets a free game.
But he's going to have a solid lane on the Lone Druid. It's not like the TA is going to destroy him. The Clockwork rotations, usually...
It's all about the tower, though, in this matchup. It's about that TA. If she ever leaves to go to the jungle, Lone Druid should be able to pressure that tower. Maybe at the 5-minute mark, you get the catapult wave. Suddenly, you're half HP mid-tier 1. Weeha makes one greedy move, and then you've lost your mid-tier 1. And now Lone Druid's got pretty much an open map to play in. He can either just farm up his own side, he can maybe move to another lane, you open up that mid lane for someone else to soak up the farm. Like, I think it's really critical who can defend that tower if TA moves to jungle. So the Wyvern, for example, can now move into that role. I think that now shows that the Clockwork is most likely off lane. You now have a position for Wyvern, and you have that ability to defend your mid tier 1, waiting for Weehaw to get his timing, and now you're going to have a really strong Blink Deso TA, Ember Spirit of an early Vessel run at you lineup.
And I have to say, I actually like the Clockwork 3 here, especially when you mentioned the Gyro, right? It could be a solid pick for Liquid. The position 3 Clockwork, if he gets a fast Blade Mail and just gets on top of the Gyro is actually in a really big mess. But I can see this Winter Wyvern working. It's just not anything special. I actually was expecting maybe something a little bit more interesting. Plus, the Winter's Curse, not really gonna kill many of those heroes. You can still use Disruption to save someone. It has enough range, even without the Aether Lens, to actually disrupt the hero that has been ultied. So,
I guess it's that case of, do you feel like Nigma has enough to catch out heroes like Shadow Demon waiting in the woodworks, right? Because you got the Ember, you got the Clockwork.
Definitely, yeah. They definitely have. And I guess then you save the Winter's Curse for when they try to save those supports, right? That could be a good way to just clump them up, and then you have follow-up Lich ulti or whatever. But I like the point that T-Gov made. Winter Wyvern, he can move into the mid lane. TA really doesn't want to be in mid. She can farm the woods a lot faster. So I guess maybe that's the main point that Nigma are looking at right now.
And a Monkey King to round this out.
So now they can put the Lone Druid top, potentially, against this Clockwork offlane. The Lone Druid's going to have a free time there. You're then going to be able to put the Monkey King mid, who's going to pressure TA. Not only is it going to be difficult for TA to play mid, even when she wants to move jungle, the Monkey can maybe chase her there. And it means that this Wyvern isn't going to really want to move to mid so quickly to cover the TA rotation. So I think, honestly, the way that Liquid rounded out their draft, it now looks complete. They actually have a way to deal with the laning phase issue, which is basically what this entire meta is about. Play a strong lane, you're going to be in a good position. There's not a big chance of those massive comebacks, but the fact that I can see how Liquid will lane this to actually mitigate maybe Nigma's big need for a strong lane to play for their big playstyle now. But I'm still kind of inclined to say Nigma has maybe the edge, but I think Liquid, just the way that they have this Monkey King Lone Druid, it should dominate. So
if there is like a type of, when it's 50-50, and if there's a type of draft that Liquid can win with, it's this one. They have a Monkey King, they have a Lone Druid. Monkey King pressures the TA, jumps into the jungle, plays really aggressive. On the other hand, the Lone Druid gets the towers. So if they are going to win this game, they have to snowball from there. But still, I'm going to go with Nigma. Like I explained, I think they're the better team, and they won't let this happen, and thus they'll take the series.
Well, a little bit split this time around. It definitely feels like this might be our closest game in terms of drafts, and hopefully in terms of gameplay. And we got OD Pixel and Fogged on the line to take you through that gameplay once more.
Thank you very much, Killer Pigeon. Yes, looking forward to this one, the decisive Game 3 between Nigma and Liquid. Fogged, we've seen the draft. What do you have to say about this one? Do you think we're going to see something a little closer, or does a team have the edge in your mind?
I think I'm liking Nigma's a little bit more. I think Liquid, they have some cool ways of fighting. I'm going to call them, I know people have been, I think I heard people talking about like the circles. I know, like, I think I heard the panel talking about the circles of the obsession. I don't think they mentioned it too much in this one, but I look at Liquid and I see Mars, Monkey King, and Coddle. These are like the three kings that drop their ultimate, like the big circle. So I think if Nigma can just avoid those big team fights, I think that the damage on Liquid is pretty lacking, and they should be able to play around it. But yeah, it's all depending on like what I'm like. Right, I feel like the big three ultis are the big thing I'm looking at for Liquid. If they can actually catch people inside of them with the fights. So yeah, we'll see. And Weehaw is on like his most comfortable hero as well. They worked really well with the Ember, Lich, and the Clockwork last game, so they're bringing it back.
Yeah, I've got to agree. I think whereas with the first two games, I think there was a much clearer sort of, you know, one lineup goes for an incredibly sort of greedy sort of draft that gets punished by the other side. I think this time round, I do agree with you. I think Liquid's gone sort of the greedier route. They're trying to get away with some carries that are a little more dependent on items. I mean, we saw last game heroes like the Ember Spirit for Nigma. This is a hero that does so much with just levels. Items, you know, that's sort of the bonus on top. You just do so much damage, and you can be so active with just the innate abilities of the hero itself. So I do think it's a slightly easier game for Nigma to play, but I definitely think this is going to be much closer than what we saw in both Game 1 and Game 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Insania might actually just go down here. KuroKy's trying to keep the distance so he can get the Frostbust through the boots, but the boots too speedy.
I can't quite close the gap here. And we'll see what sort of lane setups we are going to have. It is indeed going to be Mickey taking the Monkey King to the mid to go for that matchup against the TA. Qualifier starting with the Lone Druid up on the top lane. Of course, being backed up by Insanius. Cotter leaving the SD Mars lane to be played down bottom, and a pretty potent lane right as well. Any sort of setups into a good angle for the spear could really mess with Miracle on the early levels if he's not too careful.
Absolutely. We see he starts with a magic wand this game down bottom because he knows they're going to be spamming God's Rebuke for last hits on like the range creeps, and they're also just going to be spamming poisons nonstop. So he will have a good amount of sustain. And just like you mentioned, it's the same story of make sure he just give him levels. You see they bring the 3 heroes top. GH and KuroKy successfully find Qualifier on the side there.
I mean, that's a huge kill.
Sorry.
Yeah, getting off sort of the first few waves. He's going to have the TP back to the lane, but already being able to mess with Qualifier on those early levels, the 3 of them. Qualifier's got to be careful. As again, as soon as he's into the lane, Mind Control pops the Arctic Burn and starts to really force them back.
I love when we get the matchups from TI and stuff over and over, like TA versus Monkey King, and it's, you know, why Monkey King? You know, we get that right now. Just watching that mid lane mostly. Mickey doing a good job of controlling it, controlling the positioning versus Weehaw at the moment. Taiga bottom. Looks pretty dead.
As indeed, Miracle. Sleight of Fist will do it. A second kill for Nigma. Both side lanes able to find some early action. As Nigma are able to control that top lane, we will see the pull being made. GH is around to try and mess with it a little bit.
They're really suffering on the last hits right now. Wyvern 1 last hit, Ember 3. These are the cores.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, in the mid lane, obviously as expected on the first few levels, Mickey having that edge against the TA. So, whereas the kills may be there for Nigma, CS certainly isn't at the moment.
Yeah, and Mickey's just staring at Weehaw, range creep just beating on him. Mickey now gets the Orb of Venom delivered, which is pretty nice now, actually, as a Monkey King. A little bit more slow. Sure, you lose a little bit of that damage, but more slow versus TA is really all you really wanted anyway.
Yeah, so the lesser duration is no problem at all. You're always going to be getting a follow-up hit. Yeah, there's going to be more than enough time to keep them consistently slowed between those attacks. Side,
GH, looking for Insania. Insania should be fine. They've got the bear.
There's that setup. That's the combo I'm talking about. The disruption into Spear, it will do it very, very easily on those early levels. Miracle has to be careful. It's an incredibly strong duo to play into. It's not easy at all for the safe lane Ember. Anytime Boxy into Tiger see an opportunity to go, and Kuro's not quite around in time to offer up any sort of responsive play, Miracle will just die to the duo.
Yeah, very nice lane setup right now by Liquid. And he doesn't have any points in the Flame Guard because he goes for the Sleight of Fist build too, so he can't actually negate any of the damage that comes out. Has to go for this build anyway, so he can set up for those kills. But yeah, super strong lanes by Liquid. It's coming out very nicely for them. Look at that, all 3. Qualifier did die the once, but still able to recover.
And this Monkey King is going to be able to have a huge impact out of the lanes. You know, Mickey with this free farm, he gets mid. The moves that he'll make, and as you mentioned, they're not necessarily looking at the side lanes, but keeping track of Weehaw's farm, making sure that he's not able to back up into the camps. And
bottom, Kuro.
Might be able to turn up, go on a Miracle as well. Boxy's getting low, but he's got the stick charges. Another knockback with the shield bash. Miracle does manage to get the 2-man's chains, and that will get the kill. Tiger, has he got much more mana to play with? He has not, but he doesn't need it. One more right-click, Tiger takes the trade as Miracle falls. Tiger will be able to start clarifying up and back away. He's got tangos going as well. He can stick around, soak up some XP from the lane, on top of cleaning up that big old kill on the Ember. As Miracle continues to... Yeah, the CS for all 3 cores of Nigma, just not on par with that of Liquid. Liquid have managed to secure these strong lanes.
And they're not actually, I don't believe, no stacks or anything yet because they haven't been able to move from their lanes. So TA does not have any of those to back up to resort to. Clean start for Liquid. Even again, 3-3 kills, but clean at laning CS at the moment.
I mean, the mid lane nearly, well, it's over a half a level difference at the moment between Mickey and We Are.
Yep, and we do see Insania is stacking, per usual. He's playing Coddle. I mean, it's Insania. He's and he pushes GH up. Okay,
very
he's
cute.
got the TP. But
GH still wants to stay persistent with the movement towards mid. TP's over towards the tier 1 in that mid lane. Top lane, Mind Control be able to grab the rune from the river. Yeah, GH will be able to get the own there. So we'll be a 2-for-2 on the bounty rune trade here at 5 minutes in.
And they do have at least that one stack for Weeha. But yeah, GH just trying to keep tabs in that enemy jungle. Maybe even get a ward down. He does still have one. Insania will find him again. Almost pushes him back up.
I was going to say, nearly had a bit of a repeat there. GH has got to be careful stepping close to these cliffs.
Looks like he's just going to try to keep tabs. Yeah, he's just going to get a ward down around here somewhere is what it seems to be. Then he will watch those stacks, which Weeha can at least walk in and take and contest as a Templar Assassin. Now has level 6-2 for traps.
And they'll be sure to fight that sort of movement though. If We Are does try and make it aggressively into the jungle.
Absolutely.
Will definitely be in with a response in terms of protecting those stacks.
Mickey did go for the all-in build though, for the moment. He's level 6, but 3-0-3. Not having a point of tree dance to jump around, no ult either. They're actually looking to go on him.
He's going to be able to get the Jingu built up, and with a Boundless and a turnaround onto GH, they'll look towards the clockwork. He's taking hits from the tower, trap slow onto Mickey. Mickey still with a bit of lifesteal to rely on. They'll kill off GH. We are trying to stand his ground and finish off this kill onto Mickey. Tries to go for the juke, but the meld hit will still connect. Weeha's able to move in and take down Mickey. GH gives his life for a good trade for Nigma. Top lane, the dive in onto Mind Control from Quote from the Bear will kill him off. No TP reaction quite in time from Nigma, able to turn that one around as Kuro couldn't quite make it before his offlaner fell.
Insania making sure to stay around the mid lane area after his Monkey King dies, just ensure that Weeha can't actually just beat on the tower freely.
Bottom lane.
He has a haste and low mana.
Another setup, but the disruption into the spear, but Miracle's able to pop the guard in time. Turns with the sleight of fist, they'll take Tiger. He can maybe even look towards Boxy as well. He's going to have chains back up in a second. Does need to be careful with the... Well, in fact, he wasn't careful enough. He fell low enough. Boxy was able to snipe him with the spear. I think Miracle not quite expecting to be dropped that low from the resulting damage of the SD and then the nuke from the Mars spear, as Boxy claims an easy kill on the Ember.
I mean, it's a high damage nuke. I've seen that happen actually a lot when I see these Marses. That level 3 spear level, like it's 250. It's not your usually 225s or anything. It's one of the higher nukes actually as one of these. So yeah, Shadow Poison 4 stacks plus that. Then we catch him off guard. Mickey mid.
Trying for the 3-man movement onto Mickey. He'll turn, but he gets brought in by the Sinister Gaze. Kuro having enough lockdown to ensure that there's no stun coming out. This time it was Liquid unable to get in time with the TPs to protect their core.
And they're vaping now.
This is pretty huge. They're taking away these stacks from Liquid. Liquid want to do something to stop this. They're without their mid for 10 seconds. And Nigma, they look to be getting the lion's share of these free.
They're all coming. All 10 heroes are in their way.
They've got to try and fight this. Arena's down. They'll look for the lockdown onto Weeha. He gets the refraction out. They have got a Winter's Curse from Mind Control, buying some safety for Weeha. Finally, the arena will end. He'll try and leave, but the root is there on the first hit from Quake for spare. Liquid, they've got to get kills out of this. They lost a decent amount of stacks to this movement from Nigma. Can they claim kills in response? The spear won't quite latch Miracle to the tree, as Miracle will live. Mickey is able to clean up Kuro. They'll turn towards GH. Tiger, no disruption for 12 seconds, so GH should be fine here. Mickey turning back towards the river with that final jump as Mind Control is inside the pit, falls to another route from Quite for his Miracle, still trying to finish this, but Mickey, he's prepared with the build-up Boundless strike, slams it down onto GH and onto Miracle. Liquid, they will be able to punish Nigma severely. Miracle with a buyback, jumps back in with the Remnant that he had prepared. He's got one more Remnant to play his way out of this. He will get disrupted. Mickey, no stun for 6 seconds. Miracle should be more than fine. Remnant's out. In fact, he's still thinking about sticking around. He wants to go back in. Slight changes up in a second. Mickey jumps forward with the Primal Spring slow. Kuro buffing up Miracle with a Frost Shield. He can continue to push on. This buyback, it could result in more, but the 3-man Boundless strike turn things around with the Blinding Light. Insane knocks him back. Boxy's walking back over. No arena for 20 seconds. The spear connection, it connects onto Weeha. Locks him down to the tree. Boxy trying to stay on top of Kuro, but Nigma maneuvering in a way that they cannot get to the supports Liquid. Now, Tiger turns, poison onto Miracle. Mickey, he's trapped by the cogs. Nigma, they get another kill, and Tiger, he's dead as well. The buyback working out perfectly. Miracle's not even done. Another Remnant back as he gets knocked back by Boxy's spear. Liquid
I love
will
these
keep
teams.
the rest of them safe. Quakefoot. One route onto Kuro will grant them the kill onto the Lich. See if he can find it. Not there. And they're going to play it safe as well. They'll lock down the bear with the Winter's Curse, make sure that Liquid cannot strike back and even get any of these support kills. As all in all, the buyback from Miracle certainly paying off. He's able to get back in and ensure another 2 kills go the way of Nigma.
Yeah, after the dust settles, I think at the start of that fight, Miracle was, I'm not even kidding you, like between 1 and 5 experience from hitting level 6. Dings it as they get the kill, able to actually set up and make some fun plays around it to make it relatively even. That was what, like a 2-minute fight of them all just respawning and running into the jungle over and over. GH now getting surrounded.
Yeah, I mean, the action just non-stop in this game. 12, 11 between the two sides, less than a 1k gold difference, and without a doubt, this game, it's just on a much more even matching. You know, both teams can play at this pace. They're ready to fight. They're ready to get involved. Now, this is what we like to see. This game, this is not going to be a game that's done and dusted in 20 minutes. This one, it's going to go a much longer distance.
Yeah, it's just constant battling. Outposts came up, I think, at the end of all that too, and it looked like it was a 1-for-1. So we did have at least that trade, but yeah, just constant duking out. And I'm starting to notice, I mean, sure, there has been all these patches and stuff, but looking at these net worths, man, like, there's so little gold on the map, actually. Like, these teams, I think they're duking it out so much because of that reasoning. Like, 11 minutes in, the highest net worth is 4,000.
It's like we've got 10
That's
position
not
5s in the game. You know, in previous patches, that's the amount that they'd have.
Yeah, it's very different, and we're really starting to see the effect of that. Like, these two teams are just straight duking it out. Like that positioning of fighting there in the enemy jungle, the tier 1 tower is just chilling for the most part. Like, that was just them battling over resources.
It's just, you know, Gaben takes some money in real life, and now he's taking it in the game as well. You know, when will it stop? Top lane.
Now they will address the tower, though. Looks like they're all setting up. Besides Weehaw,
Sania. Oh, he's knighted. He's got a hook shot. He's trying to get in, but he can't get past the bear. Quakefoot's going to push it back with a fear. Where's the root? There it is. First hit onto GH. GH tries to reach out for some sort of safety with the hook shot, but he won't find the connection. Quakefoot staying on top of them. The spear's out. GH doesn't get clipped to the tree, and he is protected by the frost shield. They're still trying to chase him down. Kuro, he's not quite 6 yet, so no chain frost available to turn and fight back with. His GH will just try and draw them away from the rest of his team as he slowly gets finished off. Kuro, he'll go as well. Mickey slams him out with a boundless strike. They get 2 kills, Liquid, there for Nigma diving in as they were. But Nigma, their focus is on this tier 1 tower top and maybe even onto Tiger behind this tower as Mind Control reaches in. He's getting a fair few stacks up onto Mind Control. He's messing around with him pretty darn well. The Cold Embrace will heal Mind Control up for now, but the Spear Snipe from Boxy comes into play. The arena's up for Miracle. He says, nice arena. The Remnant, he's there, but they were prepared for this. Liquid, they read the positioning. They were there at the Remnant, but Kuro and GH, they're in to protect him. Ignis Vartus laid down by Insania, bringing back the 2 supports. And Mickey, he's in on the backline. It's not quite enough damage to kill off Miracle, though. Miracle will stay alive. There'll be a buyback from Kuroki as Nigma. They want to keep this fight going. GH trying to run in. Again, Quakefoot hits the root. Jump forward from Weehaw. He has the blink complete. They want to kill off this bear, kill it off fast, but Quakefoot pops the fear, pushes back the TA. They lock down the bear with the curse. They want this bear dead and gone. And with the trap prepared underneath the feet of Quakefoot, they can step over and make moves onto the lone druid himself. Slight change comes in. Quakefoot will be left behind. The rest of Liquid desperately trying to scupper, but Weehaw with this blink dagger pickup, he can chase up for more, gets the double kill.
Very nicely done. Nice curse there, catching the lone druid next to the bear. Get that trap, and now it's right next to Roche. So they're actually just going to go for it here with Weehaw. With that double meld put up on top of the Roche, minus 13. They look like they should actually have enough damage to bring it down. And there's no bear for 45 when he does respawn.
They're coming over.
Liquid can actually make it.
A TP in from Tiger. No arena for 15 seconds. Roche falling fast, as she's saying. GH is already there on the high ground, ready to look out for these sort of plays that Tiger's going to make. Tiger trapped in the cogs. They'll be able to hold him back, leave Weehaw in the pit in an attempt to finish it. Mickey's coming in close. It is low. Is he going to get in the pit in time? Weeha's getting bashed up. They need to send someone in there, but they're not going to do so in time. Nigma's able to finish it off, get the Aegis on Weehaw. Insania knocks back GH with the blinding light, but Weeha's in with the follow-up. Jumps in with a blink. The rocket will scout out Mickey. They're hunting. Jump forward with the Remnant to clear the trees, but Mickey's already out of them. They're looking for this kill onto the Monkey King by Mickey. He actually just turns, boundless strike out. He just kills Miracle in front of the rest of his teammates with a Wukong's command down. GH, he's also got to be careful. They'll throw out the Chain Frost jump forward from Weeha. Mickey tries his best to dodge it. Mickey, he's still alive here, but finally falls. It's cost Weeha his positioning, though. Weeha's in deep. We'll see if Boxy can take the Aegis out of the hands of the TA as Weeha. He hides with the Mel. Boxy, he doesn't have detection available on him, so Weeha won't even fall the once. The Aegis still protected. Mind control, trying to turn with the curse to buy him time to TP out. He'll go for the TP quite for out of range with the real hero, but he doesn't have the damage to kill Mind Control before he TPs out.
GH, hook shot away. He is Demonic Purge. Will he TP out as well?
He will not. They have the disruption, and GH will tick down to the damage from that Purge of Tiger. So again, the action just non-stop here in this game 3. 15 minutes in, 17 to 19. That's just how we love it.
Is that, have all games been like that? I feel like this one's a little bit more so than the ones that I've seen of just super kill hungry on both sides.
DD denied.
He wants him now though.
Yep, you deny my DD, I'll deny your life. Or will he? Disruption. Insania's going to live. He's able to turn with the Aegis 1. It's another beautiful bait from Insania. We saw this in game 1. He's doing it again here in game 3. He just baited Weeha in, who loses the Aegis. And Liquid, they're ready to go for round 2 on the TA. Can Nigma protect him? Liquid is still a little hesitant on how they commit. They know there's going to be backup for Weeha, but there isn't enough. Kuro alone, he cannot do what it takes to keep Weeha alive. That's Aegis and the TA's life gone in a flash.
Full bait by Insania. Killing the DD rune. Now he'll play with his life to GH, but that was a very nice bait play by him. As Nigma, they're trying to push up top in reaction to mid being pushed in. They're reacting now though, Wyvern.
Mind Control's got the setup as well. They have got the Curse and the Chain Frost if they want to try and go for kills. They'll just focus the bear. Qualifiers going to have to leave that one behind. GH staying on top of Boxy. Boxy drops the arena. He missed just the spear though, so GH is still able to close the gap, lock him in the cogs. Boxy's trying to run. I don't know if there's going to be any escape from these two though. GH will continue the chase. Kuro's soon to be able to get in range for a Chain Frost. Boxy has no TP for 30 seconds, so all he can do is try and make them run as long as he can make them.
I mean, he's much faster than with Phase Boots and Windlace. He's got to get TP cut off here. He's trying to play around the vision. He's trying.
It's going to take them a while to kill him. Push back with the spear. You know, Boxy, he's making space. I mean, can they actually kill him? They should be able to. GH is going to have a hook shot in 10
battery assault in a sec. Let's see if he can close the gap. He's still I mean, he's making him really work for it.
He's got TP back up. If he can find some way to make sure that there's no TP cancel between the two of them, he could get out of it. And he has. The pushback with the spin. It wasn't enough though. GH did just have enough mana for the hook shot. Cancels the TP. It's, you know, nice try from Box. He certainly made them work for it. Made some space for the rest of his boys. Mickey's in the jungle, finishing off his Echo Saber. And of course, Quakefer working towards the Desolator. First Mithril Hammer done. Once he's got the Deso on top of the Mask of Madness, this bear will start to rip through towers and objectives. And finally, Liquid's going to be able to get out on the map and take some tier 1s for themselves.
Yep. Yeah, the only thing is like that was a kill streak, right? So that's like where they both got 500 experience on the two supports. But yeah, it was overall like everyone was kind of farming. No one else was actually trying to fight. All the other heroes on the map were just trying to catch up a bit there.
And looking at he's still very much in a great position to hit these excellent timings on the Blink Deso. Just 1,400 gold away, and that Blink Deso will be complete. And that really is when, you know, the TA just is in our element. Any opportunity to jump in on top of a support, 2 hits, maybe even 1 hit, and the support's gone. Nigma can try and start these fights with a numbers advantage if Weeha is able to find those backlines.
Should be able to burst them down pretty easy. Yeah, the 2 squishy supports for sure. Right now we do see Liquid is smoked.
Weeha, he's going to be the focus if Tiger can find the setup. I don't know if Weeha's getting out of this one. The spear comes in perfectly into the Demonic Purge in the Boundless Strike. Weeha is dead, too far away from the rest of his teammates. GH tried to come in and help, but the arena's dropped down. They'll use the curse onto Mickey, but nobody else is in range of it at all. So Mickey, he's not going to take any damage at all. GH will be left behind as Liquid, they're able to push Nigma out from trying to greedily farm over in this area of the map that Liquid do have well warded and protected.
Very aggressive positioning for Weeha. We saw him die there last game when they were super far ahead, but he died in the same spot as the Necrophos too. Maybe just not expecting Liquid to have really vision or anything around there, but either way, his team wasn't very close. That was very over-aggressive play. Gets punished for it. Not quite for though. Speaking of getting punished.
TPs are instantly coming in though. He gets the ult off, so this tankiness has increased tenfold. Do they have the damage to kill him? He's ticking down low, but protection will be there. Tiger's in, has a disruption ready for the defensive player, or even for the aggressive. He can find some sort of setup. Mind control will be feared by Qualifiers as Boxy and the Bear chase down the Wyvern. Another route into the crash. Mind control dies. Liquid now getting ahead in terms of these kills. Every single time, Nigma, they're trying to play out a little too broken up, and Liquid are responding. They're getting these pickoffs, and they're now starting to create quite an advantage. A 3K jump up in a game that up until now has been pretty static. It's been very close. Liquid are certainly, they're going to be hitting these timings a little quicker than the Nigmas, for instance. Now, we are, after that death, he's back on track for just trying to finish off his Mithril Hammer. At this rate, Qualifier, he's probably going to have his own Deso done on the Lone Druid before the TA has hers.
Yeah, definitely. And we are starting to see a bit of that. The Wyvern 3 is not doing as great as I think they wanted it to do. Like, there was this last pick, I know Panel mentioned it too, but didn't see this any clear-cut reason. 0, 4, and 8, having a bit of a rough time, and he is going to be going for a Mask of Madness build, but look at him on that net worth. He's quite significantly behind even Taiga, as the Shadow Demon was a 4. So they're going to be playing with some limited resources in the next fights, and it's a 4K gold advantage. I feel like these advantages now that I'm starting to see a couple more games, 4K, it feels like a lot more than it used to be.
It is. No, it absolutely is. With the ways that numbers have been changed and gold available on the map, because of the overall increase in terms of just value of the game is much slower. The difference is you have, it's really amplified. This 4K is sort of, a patch or two ago, this maybe would have been, I don't know, like even maybe double that in terms of a net worth advantage, especially in a game with this many sort of kills.
Yeah, so it's almost like Liquid are getting to the point of having 4 cores and they're only going to be playing versus 2 pretty soon.
Yeah.
But we do still see those 2 cores, the TA and the Ember, are still having a pretty solid game. Liquid is getting onto a more aggressive positioning here. And the team fight, the thing is, a team fight from Liquid is still, we did mention that at the start, is these triple circles, if they drop them all down together, fighting into that for Nigma will be very difficult. They can avoid them though.
We are. So able to take down the tier 2 on his own. They let that one go, and that will give the Deso done. Both teams now with their Desos online. Weeha has his on his way, and Quaifer's done his on the Bear. So these fights definitely feeling more difficult for Nigma, as you say, in the sense that for them the pressure is much higher on less heroes. It's on these 2 heroes. It's on both Weeha and Miracle to make the plays happen, whereas with Liquid they just have so many more outs and ways they can successfully win a team fight. Again,
and they have been able to build up their items that they needed. I think you were talking about, like Liquid, they need items for their heroes to really be that strong. They've now got those items finished on a lot of them, so they are that much stronger. Boxy reveals himself with the smoke in mid. Illusion baited.
Yeah, a bit of a movement onto the Illusion. There's Nigma. They are prepared, obviously, with that reveal from Liquid. Nigma keeping themselves closed up together around mid. Mind Control finally having that Mask of Madness done, but absolutely not a timing that he's going to be writing home. About 22 minutes in, it's been a slow game for the offlane Wyvern.
Yeah, let's see what he's able to make happen with it, because he is pretty far behind, but he does still pack a pretty good punch if he's able to get good positioning.
Miracle wants
Another
to start
catch.
something here. Boxy is just immediately going to go for the TP out, but they've got TP cancel. Bringing him in with the Sinister Gaze. Boxy will fall, and a significant part of the team fight of Liquid taken away, so Nigma, they can resume business and push down another lane, take another tier 2. As they do continue to eat up so much more of the map than Liquid's been able to do so themselves. Liquid's still only taking 1 tier 1 tower so far this game, whereas they themselves have lost multiple tier 1s and tier 2s to the pressure of Nigma.
Yep. Qualifiers just got spotted there for a second. They actually will find the Bear returning back. GH
should be able to kill this
channel.
With Weeha's damage. Unless Quaifer can do some amazing jukes.
Fear.
They've got the chains. This Bear will fall. There's been more money into the pockets of Nigma. Miracle will be the one to claim that tasty plus 300. That plus 300 going immediately into the funds for the Mithril Hammer, as that will get him the Maelstrom complete.
I'm looking at information on the map right now, and I'm really liking Nigma's wards at the moment in comparison to Liquid's. They actually have like great information everywhere because of the traps coming in too. So you see right now, they see that Nigma is split up. They're trying to make something of it, but Liquid is starting to gather very quickly.
Nice room for Miracle. Lead in from GH with a hook shot straight away onto Tiger. The Splinter Blast as well, bringing Tiger low. Jump forward, attempted with the Remnants. The Arena's out, tries for the spear, but the Winter's Curse, it interrupts it all. Holds back Boxy. The Chain Frost out between Boxy and the Bear. He's falling low on the Mars. They do kill off the supports. Now they'll turn towards the core. Fear will push back Kuro. Cold Embrace offers him protection. Weeha ready to move forward and look for these kills. They're on to Quake's Bear. This was a resummon. If they kill this off, that's no Bear for a full minute. Back in with the Remnants. Miracle looks towards the hero. Chasing down Quakefa. The Bear will fall. Quakefa without a summon for a full minute now, as the lone druid will get isolated. They've got to keep
on the high ground
alive. He's trying for the setup with his Wukongs. Does manage to lock down mind control in the middle of the ult. The rest of Nigma's cores, though, can step away to safety.
Oof. Liquid had to back away even when they had, I think it was almost all 5 heroes, and Weehaw actually was just doing Roche for a first 10-15 seconds now, and then came and joined in. And Liquid got pushed away by the 4. That's pretty significant. Now with this, what, they don't have Wukong's up. Mars ult is up in about 15. Nigma, they're looking to not get that Roche.
And they should be able to do it easily here. We are getting the meld hit stacked up. This Roche will melt very quickly. Liquid would have to make an incredibly fast move to be able to challenge this. And yeah, there's no way they can close across to this area of the map within the time that would be required. As this Roche is going to be dead and gone. Aegis into the hands of whether it be Weeha or Miracle. I imagine you do want to still give it to the TA. This is the real powerhouse of a hero you have right now.
Yep, Weeha is over that Ember.
Blink Deso. This is time for him to just commit onto the backliners, and before he loses that Aegis each fight, he should have a good solid opportunity of easily bringing down at least 2 of the squishier heroes on Liquid's backlines.
Yeah, really seeing the power of the 2 cores. Even though the Wyvern isn't really all the way up there, it's these 2 that really are causing all of these problems. DD now on Miracle too. They're all grouped up. There is going to be a ward that's going to get tabs of Miracle at least making his way down. Looks like Liquid just content with trying to get a bit more farm here for a moment. Mickey just finishing up the Manta. So at least we'll be able to get off those annoying slows that have been messing up a bit. It's like the slow traps, etc. Line is drawn, Nigma. They want to fight. With Aegis and Cheese, like they definitely want to try to take advantage. Liquid does have everything at the ready.
Yes, would be a hard fight for Liquid to receive. Going through their cores twice, it's not going to be something easy, especially if they have to expend their ults to be able to do it once in the team fights. As Nigma, they're being respected, they're getting the space. Another tier 2's down now, removing all outer towers from Liquid's map.
And Weeha now has a full BKB, which is going to be pretty important for him. Not going to have to worry too much about... He can just actually stand his ground pretty well. Doesn't have to worry about getting blinded around or anything.
No, amongst this chaos of this sort of 22 to 25 game at 27 minutes in, Weeha has been able to keep those timings solid.
Absolutely. Yeah, 6-3-3, level 18.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Bear now has a Basher. And did he actually get the talent as well now too? Okay, not quite yet. Still not 20, but... Just holding that high ground for the moment. That means Nigma will probably gain a bit of a more economy lead, being able to farm the map a bit better these next few moments, as they have bottom lane pushing in, mid lane pushing in, and Miracle farming up top with the Remnant set up. So this is just a great economy play right now by Nigma versus Liquid. Just choke him out a bit.
They're really leaving Liquid no chances of getting any sort of split push going. Just forcing Liquid to be right in the base.
Yeah, I feel like with like this Ember and TA, I feel like Ember can go address one lane, TA puts traps in the other one, and then they can keep Liquid actually trapped like this for quite a long time, and just keep playing around the Remnant and playing around your Aegis and Cheese advantage for the next few moments.
The high ground defense, this is going to be where it's, Liquid are going to have to try and find some sort of big play, punish some sort of overcommitment. Weeha is going to almost certainly fall the once, and he will do so. Curse also being used quite early this fight, only onto the bear, so now no Curse to rely on. In he comes for a second time, and he'll get the BKB off. Bashed. He's straight up dead for 70 seconds. Now they turn towards Kuro. The Ignis Fardas out as well, bringing in mind controls. Wyvern Kuro knocked back into it, attempts for a TP out that's immediately shut down. Liquid will hold. as Nigma, they're led into a bad attempt at pushing high ground. We are feeling too overconfident, gets taken down immediately twice. Aegis and his second life wiped out of the game immediately, and that will hurt them. With 3 heroes out, Liquid, they're free to push back. And in a game where Liquid as a team, they actually have the advantage, there's still a lot of potential gold on the map for them to clean up. They start getting towers, this lead from Liquid is going to massively amp up, and taking towers, they can certainly do. With this Deso build on the Bear, Qualifier, he just tears through objectives when he gets the opportunity to get out of the map.
And Boxy is setting up for Miracle top too. Miracle does have a cheese, but he could get grabbed here. There's a Yules at the ready. That was pretty close. Liquid has to, or Nigma has to be careful. The way they step up, over aggressive. Like Weehaw, he gets caught up on that high ground, then gets caught by Savage Roar, even uses his BKB at the end, so now down to 9. That's pretty big hold there for Liquid on that high ground. And they should, you imagine Qualifier might just be able to go for that top tower too, maybe? Nah, he's not going to. He's just going to continue to farm, but yeah, big hold. Big mistake there by Nigma, by Weehaw.
It's just it's one of those lineups that you're pushing into as Nigma that has a million ways to catch you after the Aegis goes. Instantly with Fears, with Ignis Varduses, with Spears. Lots of ways to get on top of the hero when they respawn. Outside of the base, Nigma will catch Boxy and Insania. They will manage to reinforce the advantage that they have. Again, this Ember TA combo, it's still very much their timing here at 30 minutes in, where these heroes are in the element.
Yeah,
they've just got to be a little more cautious with the high ground push.
Yeah, they're always seeing people though because of these traps and because of the wards that have been placed by Nigma. So every time people do step a bit out of positioning, Nigma does have the information. But like you said, pushing high ground is a little different because you're playing versus those circles. Like we're gonna keep mentioning, Kato ult, Monkey King ult, Mars ult. A lot of complicated ways to actually break that. But Nigma, they don't want to slow down. They don't want to stop going for this breach.
So if they have a better shot this time. Hook shot into the back lines. GH, she's found Qualifier. Tries to separate the lone druid from his bear. The cold embrace, keeping Kuro alive. They'll turn. The bear's dead. Instant resummon from Qualifier. BKB popped by Weehaw. They'll use the Winter's Curse to just hold Mickey back, allow them time to reset and consider how they want to continue this fight. They don't have Kuro, so being outnumbered, they want to back away from this all. The trap slow will stop Liquid from being able to chase the members of Nigma. Boxy's trying his best to get a Yule set up onto Miracle. See if he can quite close the gap. It's a bit of a bait though. They've got good ward vision here. Nigma's setting up for the turnaround. Boxy, he'll get the arena off, but he's surrounded by the 3 of them. Tiger goes with Demonic Purge onto Miracle. Miracle, his BKB backup. He pops it, looking to commit onto Boxy, staying on top here of this Mars. A defensive disruption from Tiger buys him a little more time. The Bear, he's there for the Bear. Miracle's going to die. The Splinter Blast will fly over to Boxy, but it's not enough damage. Boxy's going to live. And now Nigma, they've got to try and get out of it. Weehaw goes for the TP, but the bash is there. Weehaw, he's dead once more. It's another failed push attempt from Nigma. This time not only costing them Weehaw, but Miracle's life as well.
Oh, bashed with the cheese when you're at 10%. The worst possible luck. But does get hit several times, does get caught up in. They don't even kill Boxy during all of it. He actually held his ground, got an extra lifesteal coming off from the Vampire Fangs and from the Shadow Demon Disruption, saving him some more time. Nigma getting punished from trying to be very aggressive there, turning onto Boxy with no BKB, I believe, on the TA still at that point, as he had used it earlier in the fight.
GH. Again, the curse just having to be used to ensure that they can get heroes out of there alive. The timings continue to be hit. Mickey, next item up on the shopping list will be the Skadi for the Monkey King. Of course, an item that has been severely buffed in the last patch.
Does it change much in this game, though?
Well, I guess Cold Embrace ain't going to do quite as much.
Cold Embrace. Fair enough. Yep, that's a good one.
Not that it was doing too much anyway. It's not really a game where you Cold Embrace someone, you're like, right, that hero's going to live. Normally they end up dying as the Embrace ends.
It is a Monkey King with it, though, right? So.
Oh yeah, you get it on everybody.
You get it on everybody, so it is going to at least do something. Like, of course, it always is going to do something, but at least it'll reduce the regen on everybody as well as those heals on top. That's cool.
And very nice to play against into lineups that do rely so heavily on a ranged hero, right, to do the damage. This TA is going to get heavily hindered by the Skadi in these fights.
Absolutely. Also, BKB piercing, so you can at least chase and continue slowing them and chasing them with the bear, hitting them and attempting for bashes. So good option that makes him quite a bit more tanky. And now 4K lead after these last few moments. That next Roche probably going to be the next big one on the menu. 20 seconds till that does spawn. We see both sides are trying to push their lanes out as much as possible to set up for that area.
And I think one of the big offsets sort of in the fights at the moment is the fact that you look at sort of the two offlaners. Sure, there's not a lot of gold in it between Boxy and Mind Control, but it just feels like Boxy on the Mars is able to have so much more impact than Mind Control can have with the Wyvern in these fights. Absolutely.
Even just him just holding his ground, like just being there, being that force. Mind Control has to stay super far back, and we still don't know what the potential really is of a DPSing 3 Wyvern when he is this far behind, 0, 6, and 9. Does have the damage items, does have the Dragon Lance as well now for that distance of hitting people, but
he's
does
got
not
the
feel like
quiver.
it all.
Yeah, that's a nice one. And ensures an easy first hit with the Arctic Burn towards mid. Crow is found out alone as Liquid certainly starting to feel a lot more stronger with their lineup now that they're getting these huge items online. That's Scardy done on Mickey. They're hunting, jumping across the trees, seeing who they can find. They're looking towards GH. Mickey's in with the setup. GH being slowed down. Mind Control. He's got another curse again. Just trying to save his poor old support Clockwork. He's trying to kill off the bear. Does bring it low.
Tanky bear though.
Be able to finish it off. As the bears find Roche is up. And Liquid, they're going to look to move immediately into it.
No sentry for the trap that I'm seeing at the moment, right? I don't think anyone has one either, so we'll be full vision.
I think this is all on GH going for a hookshot steal, if anything, here. They don't have this curse. Oh.
He's messing with them a bit from that high ground, and just a couple pokes from the Wyvern. It is a lot of damage that you do just with Arctic Burn onto a true form Lone Druid.
And they are respecting the respawn from Kuro. He's got his Chain Frost. They know that the ults are there, but Kuro actually walks in to Liquid, who are immediately there waiting to move over to the high ground. The arena's down, locking in both Miracle and Mind Control. Miracle pots the BKB as well. Now they're trying to focus down Mickey. Mickey, can they keep this Monkey King alive? Tiger can. The disruption comes into play. Mickey will live for now, finally falls. They get the big kill, knocking Mickey out of the game. Boxy turns with a spear, pushing Weehard down to the river. They'll kill off the Ember Spirit. It's a 1-for-1 at the moment. We are still good to fight. That refraction back up, jumps over the wall with Boxy. Boxy's trying to back out of this, but he cannot escape. Nigma come out on top with the 2 kills. Buyback from Miracle committed. As Nigma know if they can move in, take this Roche. It's very hard for Liquid to do anything about it. Without their 2 big cores, Boxy and Mickey gone, this Aegis Cheese and of course the Aghanim Scepter will fall into the hands of Nigma.
Nicely. I mean, the way that fight actually ended up splitting up was pretty cool, because Boxy looked like he got this really good ult, but they actually had everything focusing onto Mickey. Everybody was just wailing on him. So even though he has the Wukong, even though he has all this extra health and everything, he was getting absolutely focus fired. Taiga had actually a sick save there for a moment, but just not quite enough. As soon as Miracle buys back after he uses the cheese, Liquid's on full retreat. They get themselves a DD, but...
And that buyback, from Miracle, you know what he's thinking about. He was just thinking about getting his hands on that Aghanims because, I mean, he has it. They get the Roche, of course. He's going to be the one to take that Aghanims blessing. And, I mean, already, I think this Aghanims, honestly, is one of the best in the game. The fact that he's managed to pick that up for free from Roshan, the hero's potential, it just skyrockets. Already Miracle's been able to have a good game. With this Aghanims, suddenly it's very hard to play against. Any sort of cracks in the team fight of Liquid will instantly get punished by this Ember Spirit getting it straight on top of you.
Yep. He does not have anything defensive at the moment, though. He has BKB, but he does not have buyback. So if they can actually try to bring him down, that's going to be their ideal, because he's going to be down for a very long time. But yeah, this is pretty big. And we do see that gold swing heavily go over because the Aghanim's blessing. It was a 6k advantage for Liquid, but when you eat the Aghanims, counts the gold. Does even out a bit there. But yeah, that's their best Ags anyway, right? The rest of them are pretty bad on the side of Nigma, so...
Yeah, there's no contest here. You get the Ags on the Ember Spirit.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised we've seen obviously a lot of Ember, but it very much feels like that a lot of the pros don't really feel the value in necessarily building the Aghanims very early or if at all. But once you have it in your hands, the game becomes so much easier to just dance around and just sort of bait out a lot of responses from Liquid's lineup in terms of getting them to pop early disruptions. Suddenly this disruption save, it's not going to be quite as effective because of the way that you are able to easily weave in and out of the fights as an Ember with the Axe. Miracle. Let's look at the catch on Insania. And Insania is not getting out of this one. Another kill picked up as they move the push in towards the base. Already Weehar working in on that top lane. Last time round with the Aegis and Cheese, things did not grow great for Nigma. We'll see if they're able to pull it off better this time round, as the high ground pushes are definitely where the difficulty lies for Nigma. They can push towers very quickly, of course, with the TA and the Deso, but Liquid, they have some great mechanisms to holding the high ground. Their ultimate combination is not easy to tackle when you're moving in from a low ground position.
Definitely not. Taiga also is getting close to level 22 for Shadow Demon, which can start to be pretty annoying. It's like this little unknown damage that really does build up inside of the fights too. So they are having quite a lot of things to defend versus that high ground. Nigma will just play it a little calm here, play the farm game. Like I feel like they could have done this one last time when they had the Aegis, when we had to blink super high, super far aggressively. They could have choked them out a bit longer. Now they're starting to do that again. How close are they to a next item? Miracle is close to a Shiva's on Nigma. Nothing really too close on the side of Team Liquid though. I guess except for Insania's Hex, something that could catch people off guard. He's getting pretty close to that one, and he has a Telescope plus the cast range talent, so that's a pretty big one.
Basically a global Hex.
Yeah.
That's a long reach with that. Very, I mean, it's very hard to play into. If he, you know, because even when you don't have vision, it's likely he's going to be able to reach you from fog with that sort of cast range buff.
So Nullifier now is more like interesting versus Monkey King in a way, because now you can't keep your Jingu stacks up, right?
Yeah, no, it messes up here entirely. Yep.
So that's a kind of neat one. I don't really know about it, the other ones, like if there's any other big one, but Nullifier is a cool item now. Different.
Yeah, I think it's mainly going to be Mickey that he's looking for sure.
I'd imagine so, yeah.
Just wants to get on top of him, take him out. Mickey is closing in. Well, I say closing in, though. He's still quite far away from the BKB.
They're just holding high ground. And yeah, look, I think this is what I'm saying. Like Nigma, I think Nigma, the last time when they botched their push a bit here, they're recognizing, all right, let's keep our net worth advantage growing. We still have some time, some leeway, minute and 40 seconds of this Aegis still at the moment.
Yeah, if they wanted to play it the safest way, it really would be just getting that Rapier on Weeha. You get the Rapier on Weeha, then you are going to be guaranteed to just pop in the BKB, Nullifier, whoever you're on top of, they will die. Very little ways, other than the disruption, really, to save someone from that TA's onslaught.
Yep, 25 as well on TA, so a nice little bash.
Yeah,
Courier, there's a full Hex on the Courier, and Miracle finds it.
Oh, that's gonna hurt. That's
I
gonna
saw
hurt.
him hunting
3
it.
minutes.
I wasn't sure if he'd actually get it, but I was watching him hunting for it.
3 minutes, no Hex on Insania. Oh, that's a deep hook shot. GH, he's straight in there. Threads the needle, gets through to Tiger on the backlines. We are post the BKB. He's trying to take down the bear. The arena's out. They'll look to pull Mickey out of it. Mickey moving towards Weeha, but he needs to get out of it. They've popped the Chain Frost, bounces between him and the bear. Jump forward with the Remnants. They're going in. Miracle committing with his own BKB. He's on top of Quite for another Remnant. Bursting Quite for low, but he gets the true form out. He'll be able to back away with that increased HP. A huge boundless strike, in fact, as they turn. They slam down the Aegis. Weeha, he did the once. Are they ready to do it a second time? He's able to get the blink off. Winter's Curse gives him the coverage to escape. A disruption keeps Mars protected from Mickey beating into his own teammate. Curse won't warrant them a kill, but it does allow Weeha to safely blink out. Mars does still fall. GH goes back in with another deep hook shot. Gets the kill done. Mars, Boxy, he's 60 seconds out, has got a buyback, but with the arena already expended, a lot of that team fight high ground defense from Liquid is not available. Nigma now have a good opening to take some of these structures away from Liquid. They'll focus the bottom racks. Qualifier jumps in with the bear, Abyssal Blade onto Weeha. Buyback comes out from Mars. Weeha's in trouble. They're using the Cold Embrace to try and keep him safe in the arena. It's back up. Weeha's trapped in. So's GH. They've killed off 2. Nigma's got to get out of there. Trying to get out. Kuro, TP's cancelled by a fear. Liquid, they'll clean up another. Mind control. His TP won't be successful either as the spear clips him from Boxy. And what looked to be maybe a chance to push in and get something done after being able to survive through that initial defense from Liquid mid. They didn't actually get anything. They did half damage to the melee racks down bottom. But as it stands, all melee racks are still alive. Nigma still struggling to be able to move on and get anywhere closer to closing this game out. Liquid, they're holding on to perfection.
Yeah, good, just fantastic buyback from Boxy there. Catches them in a pretty tough spot there. Qualifiers was able to just sit in the back, constantly wail on them with his bear, actually able to bring them down pretty nicely. And we see Miracle, he's trying to keep these lanes pushed in as best as possible, but yeah, Liquid, a huge buyback from Boxy.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And this Abyssal Blade from Qualifier just messes with the entire way that Weehaw wants to play as hero. He no longer could just jump in and commit because that Abyssal will be there through the BKB, ruining a fair few seconds of his opportunity to try and delete a hero. The TA's game, as this game continues, it's not getting any easier. Liquid are able to itemize in a way that certainly that TA strong point, it's starting to fall into the distance.
Yeah, and now the courier should be respawning, what, 20 seconds? So Insania's going to have a Hex. Now, that was without the Sheep, so that's pretty important in these next few fights, too, if he can actually get that lockdown. I also see Qualifier doing something fun. Probably people have done this a lot, but he's carrying mangoes on the extra slot of the bear, since he does have a lot of mana costing items now with the Abyssal and that Mask of Madness. Does have a little bit of extra way in case of emergency. And does hit level 25 now, too, so that bear...
Oh, he hits
look at how much faster it attacks.
The bashes will certainly be there.
Yeah.
And the roots. In terms of BKB durations, what are we down to here? 6 seconds on Weehaw.
Miracle's still good. 7.
Still got 7.
He's got a Timeless Relic on Miracle as well.
GH is trying to go in onto Mickey. It's a little scary because Liquid do have all ults available. They turn the Abyssal Blade onto Miracle. The follow-up Boundless Strike. If they got any other follow-up, the Hex is there from Insania. The Ignis Fardus is down, pulling Miracle in. Miracle still gets the chance to put the BKB, but he's been cold embraced as well. Mind Control's trying to help him. He gets the chance for Sleight of Fist, jumps over the Remnant towards Insania, but another disruption from Tiger holds Miracle in place. The poison's in. Miracle, he's just dead. GH is trying to finish up Tiger in response. Miracle buys back, straight over towards the Remnant, moves over towards Insania with the Spirit Vessel, but Insania, he's keeping the distance. Boxy, he turns after the Yules, locks him into the tree with the Spear. Hex from Insania once again. Another cold embrace being used, trying to keep this Emperor alive. He brought back for this, he cannot afford to let him die. But the chain stun from the root, the Abyssal, Miracle's dead for 2 minutes. The die back in place. He's trying to run, but again, another clip from Boxy throws him straight forward towards the tree, into the clumsy net. Weeha's trying to fight back into this Mars, but Boxy and his shield is too damn strong. He's got to get out of it. Another Hex. But another Hex. Insania for the 3rd time this team fight, locking down the cause of Nigma. They're not ready to play into this sort of cast range Hex play from the Cottle, and it's another fight that's easily in the bag for Liquid. And now Nigma, they're out without 2 of their cores, soon to be without 3 for over a minute. No buyback on Miracle, no buyback on Weehaw. Liquid, they can run down mid and get a hell of a lot damage done.
They just completely locked down Miracle. From the Bashes to the Abyssals to the Insania staying in the back lines, getting the Hex off multiple times. That was such good control by Liquid in that fight, and don't think Nigma were prepared for like a BKB Ember Spirit getting controlled throughout the entire thing of it, pretty much. An Abyssal into a Bash, then as soon as he comes out, he's almost dead. They did such a good job of controlling that fight.
They had that timing to play to this game, Nigma, but they may have just slipped up a little too much. The high ground push is starting with that first attempt on the bottom lane, with that initial Aegis just beginning to be a bit of a sign of how the rest of the game was to continue, with Liquid holding, and now at a point where Nigma, their lineup, it's missed that strong point, it's missed that mid game where this Ember TA is as deadly as possible. And even in the late game where TA can be strong, Liquid, they just have a beautiful number of answers. There's no way for We Are Miracle to play their games. They're getting locked down even through Magic Immunity. The mid-racks are gone. Liquid, they can push on at speed, going over towards the tier 4s. A buybacks there from Kuroki. And both the Ember and the TA will be back in 10 seconds. So Liquid, they will respect that. But they're now at 10k, they're up a set of racks, something that Nigma's been unable to achieve for the entirety of this game, 46 minutes in. And at this point, with their lineups, this is not going to get any easier for Nigma.
No, definitely not. There's too many ways to address the only two core heroes really that we're going to save for Nigma, because the Wyvern, he's had some okay curses, but for the most part they've been a lot of these defensive ones to set up, and he's not the same, core hero as a TA and Ember. Now Liquid able to get out. It's a full rush with the Refresher as well as that Aghanims. So Monkey King just takes the Ags?
Who's taking the Ags? I think you're right. I think Mickey's going to want to grab that for sure. Oh no, SD! Alright,
Tiger just blink stole it? Okay, because he had it queued up. I mean, I guess the triple purge just looked phenomenal, so...
It's an incredible Ags upgrade for him. I mean, and as much as it would be nice for Mickey, Mickey is already doing his job with the items he has, right? If anything, you could argue that the the difference in power level will increase more if you give that axe to the SD rather than the Monkey King in terms of your entire team outlook. So yeah, these three charges are really going to make... We've already seen sort of the kite potential from Liquid in these team fights.
Whoa. You can't also neglect the fact that he took the damage talent at 25 instead of 2 charge disruption. This is 3,000 damage, Owen.
Oh, damn. That's 3,000 damage on us. That's a lot of deeps. Tiger's going to just... I mean, he straight up kills someone. Just
unless they BKB, unfortunately, but yeah.
BKBs, I mean, they're pretty much all down to 5 seconds, aren't they? But yeah, 6 seconds, let's get in there.
He could just pop people, absolutely.
Fight around.
That would be pretty cool. Like a Soul Catcher plus triple, yeah. If they're caught in a stun or anything, or the BKB's end, he will likely just pop them. 1,000 damage. Nothing to joke about.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that they haven't been already, but at this point, you know, Insania with his Hex, Tiger with the Ags, you know, it's time for sort of the supports to steal the show.
Hell yeah.
These supports, you've got to get on them. You know, we talked earlier how they had this window where WeHard can jump in and kill a support. He has to now. If he doesn't kill these supports will just control the entirety of Nigma's cause.
Yeah, and also I trying to keep track of all these items and everything. There's been a lot of different neutral items in this game. I don't think Mickey actually had one for a bit. He still actually does not have one in his neutral item slot, but he has a Minotaur Horn in his bags. Okay, he's waiting for Paladin Sword.
He did have that earlier. I don't know where that disappeared to.
Yeah, Qualifiers actually just had the Philosopher's Stone on his main hero most of the time, and now he has a Leveler on his bear. Sounds pretty good for a Lone Druid.
I mean, that bear is doesn't get much more kitted out than this. This bear is quite the nightmare for Nigma.
Yeah, full butterfly for Mickey. Probably pointed that one out, but they're in a very, very comfortable spot now in these last few moments. So many extra items now to work with, so many extra protective things, and all these levels. Look at this, Boxy 25 too. Arena Blood grants the regen to his whole team.
And it's a lot.
It's a lot.
100 HP regen. Not 90, not 90, 100. It's a big old getting into the 3 digits there. You know, Nigma, with the way those last few fights have gone, WeHard earlier was dreaming of the Rapier. He knows that he needs something quicker, and he needs something that's going to allow him to get that kill on the hero he jumps on. And obviously the Bloodthorn Nullifier combo will be enough. At least it should be. Still the disruption is there for the counterplay. But whoever
you can now just BK. You can just BKB now. It doesn't mute you anymore, so it's not as strong as it used to be.
That is, yeah, it's very true.
I don't know if they have any BKBs though.
They don't, right? Though. No, Mickey doesn't.
They just have Mars.
So, yeah, it's just all going to be on Tiger to save people with disruptions if they do get jumped on by this combo. I mean, these towers just falling in a matter of seconds to the bear. Nigma is very much one team fight away from losing this game, it feels. If there's any opportunity for Qualifier to get into the base, he's just going to be able to end this one.
Oh, there's a lot. I mean, I just saw Insania also pick up an Ags. So we got 100 AoE HP regen from the Mars ult. We've got Illuminates healing people as well. So that Spirit Vessel's going to do work on the Ember Spirit at least, but it's going to be a lot of healing coming into play from Team Liquid.
I don't know if it's going to do enough work to save Nigma from the position they seem to be in right now. The tier 3 taken. Again, these curses not really doing much other than prolonging the inevitable. So we'll allow them to kill the bear once, so this time having a bit more of an impact in that sense, and that'll be at least enough to make Liquid think twice about how they want to push in for this. You know, Qualifier still
with some waves, as
with a lot of money to spend. And he's, you know, he has his Ags done, so you know, we're messing around with the overclock. As an Ags, do you like the clockwork Ags, or do you feel it's a bit of a meme?
I think if you have an Abaddon or a Legion Commander, it's cool. But he's actually overclocking to double rocket push out lanes. Do you see that?
Oh.
Look at this mid. He actually killed the whole creep wave with an overclocked double rocket.
Oh, well, that's
got
cute.
The spell amp.
That's smart. I like it.
That's kind of cool.
That's some big brain stuff. I don't know if the brain's going to be quite big enough to hold this, but maybe. GH, just a beautiful hook shot straight in onto Tiger and Boxy. Straight away they'll turn with that Hex. On to Ember, Miracle pushed back by the Spear. They now turn their focus towards Boxy. He's been silenced and nullified, still very tanky and still with a BKB charge ready to use if he feels threatened. They're staying in, and an Ignis Fartus will be laid out by Insania. Reaching with the Wrath, Miracle tries to go for Boxy. Miracle pots the BKB, jumps over towards the supports. He's trying for Insania. The Demonic Purge is laid down onto Miracle. That's a triple purge. He's going to take a huge amount of damage for this Miracle. Whoa, and he's gone! The Aghanims, it does it there. Those purges, getting them the kill, they'll lose the Kotl. But again, Liquid taking the better trade. Those 3 demonic purge charges, they will delete heroes, and we saw it just there.
Yeah, I was hoping to see that one. They almost lost their bottom racks during all that. It dropped down to 400 or 300 HP on the side of Liquid, but they were able to get that. Also, I am seeing that I'm... never mind, I won't talk about it, but Nullifire is actually undispellable now.
Yes, so popping the BKB won't remove it.
Yeah,
But you will
really
still
see
be.
too much,
But you will still be BKB'd, you know. So
absolutely, yes. That was kind of the point, but I just wanted to touch on that because I actually haven't gotten to see Nullifier since the change either. So.
I mean, the main thing to bear in mind is, you know, if you're able to get the Nullifier on someone like the Monkey King, he puts BKB, he's still not going to be able to rely on getting the Jingu Mastery stacks built up. He's going to be screwed for the duration of that Nullifier. Yeah.
Yep. We are seeing them. They're backing up. They're still, still comfortable. They got their kill.
That's to be fair. I mean, I'm an idiot. I could keep talking about mid-cares if he hasn't. He doesn't have.
I know he
doesn't need one. I mean,
but in theory,
the Manta. There you go. The Manta won't remove it. I mean, not that it remove it before because you couldn't press Manta. Either way, you know, Nullifier is a great item. I don't know if it's great enough of an item to save them here. He still needs that next sort of big thing on top of it. He's got 2,500. I think if anything, he might want to be getting that Divine Rapier back on his shopping list. They need some sort of huge item to swing this game around. It's 54 minutes in. Liquid very much getting closer and closer to end this.
It's just tough for them to stick on targets because they're also just innately extremely tanky now. Like Mickey, almost 4,000 health with all this. Boxy, 3,500 with 22 armor. And Taiga's just always too far away. And he does have his own defensive ways to protect himself. Same thing with Insania. So it's just, I feel like it's really tough just for him to actually go on any targets. There's so many different ways that Liquid can address it. And how is everyone 25 yet on the side of Liquid at least? It looks like it.
Getting close. Yeah, just on Liquid. Just on
Liquid, yes.
Nigma, that was still short on a few heroes. Quite a bit short on the, even Mind Controllers. And Mind Controllers just had a rough time this game on the Wyvern. Only level 21, so not really there in gold, and certainly not there in XP either this match.
Man, Taiga, you know, the one beautiful thing about the SD thing is the triple purge. The one not beautiful thing about it is the 60-second restore charge time. Come on. Look at this. They're still just, look at how slow they creep.
Yeah, but at least you got a Kotl, right? It can keep buffing you up, speeding up a little bit, right?
Never refuse gold given.
Radiant are scanning.
Something like that. Keeping themselves positioned around the Roche. Not really, you see the bounty rune spawning. They're not caring too much about those main heroes. They do have a bear, so Qualifiers can go get those. And he does have Ags now, so lane pushing. We're going to see Rockets pushing out one wave on one side, and we're going to see Bear pushing out on the other side. Same thing with Illusions.
Yeah, I mean, I think in real life, Rockets would probably beat a bear, but in this game, I think the Bears want to be feared a little more in terms of its pushing capability.
Yeah, I mean, this is a bear that also has some exquisite armor, so, you know, those Rockets might not do the damage they were expected to. Qualifier popping those mangoes. He's preparing the push, grouping up their heroes in their jungle. Will they kill the bear? It looks like they are trying to. The BKB gets forced on that bear. But you really have to, it's so scary that you're playing versus now. It's not only just a Spirit Bear with a BKB, with an Aghanims, he's got a Leveler as well. So if you don't address that bear immediately when he starts going for your base, you're just going to lose all your buildings. They actually have to bring almost everybody.
Oh yeah, your base is going to die if you don't stop this bear. Roshan, I mean, this is the 5th Roshan. It's been a long time where I've seen a game where 5 Roshans have died in the game, you know what I mean?
Me too.
And we're going to get it here. I mean, we sort of said it from the off. This was not going to be a game that finished early. And we're 56 minutes into this one. Sure, at this point, it is looking very close to being in the bag for Liquid, but Nigma are still holding on. Weehar's gold does continue to climb. He's 4,500 in. He is close to that Rapier sort of gold if he does want to go for it. Obviously does mean that he has to mess up his inventory a little bit if he wants to slot some sort of big item like the Rapier into it at this stage.
Yeah, the problem with TA, right? You always feel like you're a bit slot starved because you do need your Blink Dagger, you want your BKB, you want your Deso. Gets to this point a lot as Templar Assassins at this point of the game. Near 60 minutes. So much gold on the side of the heroes of Team Liquid.
We're seeing a lot of, I mean, even on Nigma, GH, he's just walking around with a casual 6k.
Yeah.
I wonder where he wants to go. Maybe he wants to build something that works well with the attack speed that he gets from overclocking. I mean, could he go sort of like an Abyssal himself? Do you think that would sort of help?
I think first thing that's on their mind is save buyback for Roche fight.
Yeah.
But then I'm not too sure, actually. I'm not too sure which ones he might go. He might go for something more defensive to protect his teammates. Maybe finishing the Solar Crest still too. Not too sure.
Yeah,
I think the first thing that's on their mind though is, you know, Roche is probably everything right now. Everyone hold your buybacks. That's why both teams are holding like 4,000 excess gold.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Roche at this point in the game with the Ags and Refresher Shard guaranteed, it's just a huge objective to let go. And Nigma, with the amount that they've fallen behind, they cannot afford to let it go. If Liquid get this Aegis and Cheese, Refresher Shard and Aghanims, the base defense, it's going to be borderline impossible for Nigma to pull off. They've got to fight Liquid around this area. Definitely, without a doubt, on top of those buybacks, just the consideration of what to do with the gold right now. We're getting closer as well to the 60-minute mark. We are going to start seeing the big items come out. Are there any particular items that you think anybody's sort of dreaming of in this match? Anyone wants to get a hold of a certain tier 5 item this game?
They don't have any of those like super nutty ones. Not sure, actually.
I wouldn't mind seeing a pirate hat on the bear.
A pirate? Actually, a pirate hat could definitely, that could be pretty good for them.
Oh! Cursed is protecting him, but he's been hexed in the balance strike. He's got the demonic purge on him as well. He pops the BKB. The Ignis Fardus is out. They'll turn towards the bear, trying to kill it off, but Qualifier, he's able to get the bear out with the BKB. Qualifier's bear will live.
Dude, Miracle is just making sure he doesn't die to the demonic purges. He's actually like remnanting and sliding to try to dodge the damage coming out from Taiga. Just saw it right there. Has to be really careful.
Has anyone spent their gold yet? No, yeah, I mean, both WeHa and GH, they're reaching into sort of the 7k gold territory. I mean, you can tell at the moment the players, they're on the edge of their seats. This game's getting pretty wild. We're hitting the 60-minute mark. Liquid, they're heading in for another Roshan.
Oh my god, look how fast the bear hits.
Oh,
with the Consume Moon Shard.
If they want to try and stop this, GH has got to look for some big ball plays. Got to get the timing perfectly with a hook shot. If they want to try and put a stop to this, the Hex is down onto Miracle. Miracle's got to be careful. WeHa tries to focus the target on the backlines with the BKBs. Look towards the call, he'll get it. Insania's dead. GH, he jumps over to the side. He's caught 2 of them in the cogs. BK pops the Wukong's command. Cold Embrace. We are up, but he's still getting bursted down by the demonic purges from Taiga. Taiga, buyback as well from Insania and WeHa. They're moving back towards the pit. Miracle's in trouble. Locked down in the Wukong's command. He's dead for 100 seconds. No buyback on the Ember. GH will fall. Buyback from both GH and Miracle. Nigma, no, they cannot let this Roche go into the hands of Liquid, but Liquid, they're going to move straight back in. Midcase also found a DD rune. Roche is falling low. They do manage to curse. They're looking for the steal. WeHa, he jumps in, gets disrupted. He was able to pick up the Aegis though and the cheese in time. Can they kill him off the 2 times in a row? They'll get him the once. The Chain Frost bouncing a few times over onto Midcase. Midcase did manage to grab both the Refresher Shard and the Aghanims for himself. They'll kill off WeHa a second time. That's a dieback on the TA. They'll move over towards GH. This should be the end of the game as it looks, as Mind Control is also out. He has got a buyback, but it's only going to be him and Kuro available for the defense. Liquid are ready to run down mid, and they're ready to finally put an end to this game here, touching on to the 61-minute mark.
They just had good positioning. They caught Insania right at the start, but then it actually put, I believe, Miracle in a weird spot where he got this. I mean, there's a lot of things that happened in the fight, but he got triple remnant trying to leave, but he had the disruption or the demonic purge, so he couldn't move. He was actually trapped on top of the Shadow Demon, getting wailed on by Mikke, and he can't jump out because he's demonic purged and his remnants don't move. Overall, that fight was pretty chaotic, but Miracle definitely got caught out by that at least, and Liquid, with their triple circle draft, I want to call, I guess, with the Coddle, the Mars, as well as that Monkey King, end up bringing it together.